What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Treasure map is finally live up against ZORO, which is kind of weird because it's versus ZORO, but this whole event is like basically surrounding around this new Whitebeard character from Pirate King Adventures. This event, you'll be able to pick up the Super Evolution Skulls to super evolve your Quick Whitebeard from Pirate King Adventures into Strength Whitebeard. Of course, the first boss we're going to be taking on is going to be the Sanji intrusion fight. I think a lot of people are actually going to have a little bit of struggles with this fight, mainly due to what occurs on stage 2. There's a lot of different debuffs, and actually, I was like half asleep when I recorded this run. I actually have a bit of an error that I do on the second turn here, up against Raizo and Shinobu, but you'll be getting a lot of different debuffs here, and the most annoying one obviously is the healing inverse effect, where any type of healing that you receive is actually inversed and it takes away from your HP instead. So the fact that Luffy in his captain ability provides lots of healing, Luffy in his special provides healing, Hiyori provides healing, all of these effects are actually getting rid of your HP pretty quickly. And also the switch effect of ZORO and Sanji are going to be very nice here. You're supposed to use the special ability of the super swap ZORO and Sanji, which I completely forgot to do, so we had to wait an additional turn. Not the end of the world though, we're able to get through it. One thing about ZORO Sanji that makes them so good here as well is that when you use their special to make everyone into Slasher and Free Spirit for 3 turns, when you move into the final stage, Sanji inflicts you with a bunch of attack down for characters that are not Slasher, Free Spirit, or another class, I think it's Fighter. And the fact that ZORO Sanji make everyone Slasher Free Spirit means you can actually avoid that attack down altogether, which is really dope. But of course, with this team, we've got, Roger Odin, Yamato, ZORO Sanji all for points, Luffy friend captain, Hiyori because we were lucky enough to pull her, and then Whitebeard because he's one of the high point boosters for this team. But if, like Sanji, when you reach the final stage, it's pretty easy. Stage 2 can be a bit of a problem, I think. So when I was playing throughout this treasure map, in this particular run, we found Carrot in the mid-map, so this is my Carrot team, so it's a little bit of a weird one. I haven't used Sabo Ace as a captain for a very long time, but they opted to be a very, very good option here. Both because we have the 2 captains here. Both Sabo and Ace reduce 1 different debuff. I believe Sabo reduces the special bind, and then Ace reduces the despair. So we remove 10 turns of both of those debuffs by themselves, which means the only thing we have to deal with is paralysis and getting a matching slot, right? So Shanks deals with that. We also have a VV support attached to the Shanks so that cerebral characters get an orb boost. Both Shanks, Flampe, and Viola are all cerebral, and then a color affinity support on Vista. Moving on to Battle Rush now, we have our versus Speed fight. This one did get a little bit of a shift. I did have a Momonosuke on here originally because I used his special on the final stage for a chain boundary. But then looking back at it, as I was actually playing through the treasure map, I realized that I could just use Izo Okiku and just get the better option, because we can use Izo Okiku to wave clear stage 2, get a chain lock for stage 3, which means we don't even have to activate a single special on the final boss stage. We have color affinity support on Kuzan, and we have our chain sorted, attack and orb boost sorted because of the Kuzan captains. Very, very easy. Moving on to versus Cat Viper, this team did get a little bit of a shift in terms of the support and the ship that I opted to use for this quest. I got away from the host ship to use the Megalo ship instead, because this one gave me a bigger HP boost, and Megalo also gives me 10% damage reduction, and I also have the VV support attached to ZORO, so we actually get a little bit of healing on the final boss stage. The main reason why we do all this is so that we can actually just kill Cat Viper without having to actually do a healing effect. I've completely crossed my mind that this guy did an 80% health cut, because I know he does a death damage. He does 100,000 damage when you kill him. So I wanted to have enough HP to just tank the hit rather than using an additional special for really good damage reduction or healing. I just wanted to use the Luffy special, get the kill, and that was it. And that's exactly what I was able to achieve with this team. Moving on to the final Battle Rush boss versus Robin and Jinbei, the one that had a little bit of an issue. If you guys didn't see it, there was a notice before Treasure Map started saying that this fight got a little bit of a shift because the gimmicks that they originally had in the game were incorrect and didn't really work. It basically enabled it so Toki and Kinemon specials won't actually help you get through the content, which is very weird. But they ended up changing it around, so as long as you put Toki and Kinemon in the middle row, you're going to be fine. I did opt to put a support of pudding attached to my own Sanji and ZORO, so that when we reach the final boss stage, I only have to use, just 2 specials rather than 3. Normally you'd have to use Kinemon, Toki, and ZORO Sanji, but this time around I opted to just go for just Toki and then ZORO Sanji, because once you use ZORO Sanji special, that's the whole goal here. If you have a way to use them early, that's the whole point, because their special gets around everything, gives you the full board of slots, and gives you more than enough damage to kill this fight. Now we can finally have a look at the final boss against ZORO. Now this team will have less points compared to my intrusion boss against Sanji, mainly due to the fact that I'm not using like all of the legends together. We have to use ZORO Sanji on one of the earlier fights, of course, but this one has a lot more gimmicks compared to the Sanji fight. I think this one is definitely more annoying than the Sanji quest, and if you don't have the Hiyori booster, it makes it really difficult to get through, because there's really not a lot of ways you can get around the poison slots that are inflicted on this stage, because there's like only one other unit in the treasure map boosted list that actually removes poison, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. Another way you could get around it is by getting like Rainbow or Wano slots before reaching this stage. That will also enable you to get through this quest easier too, not really having to worry about the poison slots that much. We also have the Whitey base support attached to Whitebeard to remove an additional turn of barriers, so we don't even have to worry about the barriers at all, which is awesome. And then on the final boss stage, that's basically it. And the thing is that ZORO does give an 80% health cut, which puts you below the 30% threshold, which means that Luffy's special ability will automatically activate when you reach the final stage due to Luffy's captain ability, meaning that you can actually save a Luffy special post-revive. However, there is still special bind that you will have to deal with. I'm getting around the revive by using the Law and Robin special. He deals with the special bind, and then having the support of Mr. One and Miss Doublefinger removes 4 turns of paralysis, gives us a chain boost, and we're still going to have an orb boost from the Odin and Roger character. As I said, Law and Robin give color affinity. We'll have a chain boost from the Mr. One and Miss Doublefinger, and that should be enough damage to get us through pretty much throughout the rest of this TM run. And if not, well, we can use another Luffy special because we're able to do that. So anyways, that is going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.
Atta! 最後のロードポーネウリ。